Good evening, everyone, and welcome to one of the most anticipated nights of the year inside our hunting community. My name is Jared Newman, founder of the HuntLeague mobile app. Whether you're a returning league champion, competitor, a curious newcomer, or just someone who loves hearing a good hunting story, we are honored to have you with us for the HuntLeague 2024-25 Summer League Finals. We've got a huge night ahead of us. This is the Clash of the Titans, where two of HuntLeague's most consistent hunters face off. We have Brandon Anderson versus Wolfgang Troxel, two of the most intense, skilled, and competitive athletes that have logged countless miles. They've faced rugged terrain, unpredictable weather, pressure, disappointment, and they've also tasted success. But this isn't about just a highlight reel, who did the hardest thing, or who has the best trophy room. These are real hunters, putting everything on the line in the field, competing not just to win a league title, but to grow, to share, and inspire others. And now they have earned their place in tonight's spotlight. If you're new to HuntLeague, I want to welcome you. HuntLeague is more than just a mobile app. It's a platform that transforms every hunt into a story, every day into a competition, and every moment into part of something bigger. Hunters from across the country, they log their real-time field experiences from days at the gym, time at the range, preseason scouting, to maybe that harvest that they end up with at the end of the season. And with everything they log, they climb the HuntLeague leaderboard as they compete inside our leagues. Now, our leagues reflect different styles and regions of hunting. There's a place for every type of hunter to compete and connect. Our leagues create a level playing field, giving bow hunters, rifle hunters, upland bird and predator hunters, along with us Western spot and stock lunatics, a way to compete. Whether you're running solo, you're hunting with buddies, you're investing in conservation, or your friends are just using you as a pack mule, or maybe even you're running a guide and outfitting service, there's always a challenge and a place for you inside our community. Now tonight, we are making history. We've put together the largest judges panel that we've ever had, with past league champions, industry professionals, and our HuntLeague partners who all bring something unique to the table. Plus, we've got some amazing announcements, surprises, and we will be awarding one of the biggest prize packages that we've ever given out. Now, before we introduce the finalists and this legendary judges panel, I want to take a moment to thank all of you, the HuntLeague community, for the support, the stories, your commitment to conservation, and the sportsmanship that make HuntLeague what it is. This is an incredible, special community. It's not just about bragging with who gets the biggest, but you guys are constantly encouraging each other. I see it in the app all the time, and I'm so grateful for it. I love this community. Now, for those of you watching live with us tonight, I can't thank you enough for joining, and I want to extend a special offer that is just for you. In May of 2026, HuntLeague, we are going to host our first ever community event. I'm only going to tease it right now because registration for this event opens September 1st. But we are going to have one incredible weekend where you can join us at the 2026 Oregon RYDR CUP. That's right, you heard it right. The 2026 Oregon RYDR CUP. We will post more about this and we're going to share details on the website, but here's what you need to know. 1, RYDR Industries, spelled R-Y-D-R, makes one of the best bipods on the planet. 2, RYDR just recently became an official HuntLeague partner, and I invited the owner of RYDR, Hunter Larson, to join us in Oregon for a weekend. And he said, man, this weekend sounds like all of my favorite things all thrown in one. I am in. This weekend, it's going to include eating wild food. We're going to spend a day with some of HuntLeague's best, shooting long range with our rifles, short range with our bows. We're going to play a round of golf, kind of tying in that RYDR Cup thing. We're also going to connect in person with some of our league partners. And of course, we're going to compete in just about everything imaginable over the weekend. And somebody's going to walk away winning HuntLeague's first ever RYDR Cup. Now, you might be asking yourself, why May? Well, First off, it's absolutely gorgeous. It is beautiful in Oregon that time of year, but the real reason is because it falls right in the middle of spring turkey and spring bear season. So with just a little bit of extra planning, you're gonna have the opportunity to connect with other HuntLeague members and maybe tack on a few extra days to this trip to chase some wild game together. Sounds too good to be true, right? I know. I can't wait. It's gonna be absolutely ridiculous and you really don't wanna miss it. But here's the catch. We can't have like 500 people all shooting at once. That's a safety risk and it's gonna cause a lot of problems. So this community event, it is going to be pretty exclusive with limited registration. Again, registration, it's gonna officially open September 1st for this first ever Oregon RYDR CUP. However, if you're watching this live stream right now and you comment, hey, sign me up for the RYDR CUP, sign me up in this chat, or if you want to shoot me an email at support@huntleague.com, you're going to get priority access on the waiting list. We're going to give priority access first to the Oregon hunters because, I mean, this is your hometown event and we want you guys to have the opportunity to get together, get to know one another. But it's also an opportunity for you guys to host some of us that are coming from out of state and show us a good time in your backyard. So again, let us know in the chat right now and shoot me an email tonight so that we can add your name to the priority list for joining us at the 2026 RYDR CUP. Again, you guys are awesome. Thank you for joining us. And if you know someone, you're listening to this right now, and you know someone that you want to invite to the RYDR CUP, text them right now. Invite them to join the live stream and have them add their name to this wait list as registration is going to fill up pretty dang fast for this event. Now, I'm grateful that you guys are all here, and I want to offer that prioritized registration to you guys specifically that are joining us right now. All right, it's time to buckle up, hit the share button, jump in the comments. We want you commenting throughout the night, encouraging our two league finalists, engaging with our judges, all that. But we want you to get ready because the 2024-25 Summer League Finals, it starts right now. And to kick it all off, let me introduce you to our incredible group of judges.
What's happening, HuntLeague community? This is Brad Brooks. I am the founder and owner of Argali. We are a lightweight hunting gear and equipment company. We do all sorts of stuff. And I'm also a pretty avid backcountry hunter myself. Kind of hunt everything wherever I can. If it's got legs, horns, and antlers, I'm probably going to try and kill it at some point in time. So anyways, grateful to be here and happy to be a part of the judges panel.
This is Brandon from AKEK. We are the official sponsor for the Western Hunter. If you have not heard about these packs, they are some of the best packs on the market. They compete with all the name brands. We've got like 3 or 4 different models. So I'm really excited to see who wins this pack.
Hey guys, Hunter Larson here, owner of Raether Industries. We specialize in bipods and gun mounts for inside the truck. I'm excited to be one of the judges on the judges panel this year.
Hey guys, John Caltrue with Foundation Stocks. We build long-range precision rifle stocks for long-range hunters and competitors. I'm new to the HuntLeague community. Looking forward to getting to know you. If you stick around till the end, we'll have a little something for you.
Matt Disney here, WURU Wool Company. We are a Salt Lake City-based merino wool apparel and blister prevention company. Super excited to be a part of the Western Hunt League again. Love hearing all the stories of how we're impacting people's hunts and making them more successful and more comfortable.
Hey everyone, my name is Tori Roothouse and I am the marketing manager for Aero Precision, Stag Arms, and Ballistic Advantage. I'm so excited to be a part of the judges panel this year for HuntLeague. We've been involved for a few years now, and this is my first opportunity that I've managed with my schedule to be one of the judges. If you aren't familiar with the companies, Aero Precision has been around for 30 years. Mostly in the AR builder game, but now we've been getting into bolt guns and suppressors and all kinds of other good stuff. Stag Arms is known for our left-handed ARs and complete rifles, and then Ballistic Advantage is our barrel company from down in Florida.
Hey everyone, Lucas Paw here representing Hogue, which is a brand, both grips, knives. Most of you probably have owned a handgun probably had a set of Hogue grips on your handgun. We also manufacture knives made in the USA, proud to say sourced, and all products made by hands in the USA. We make replaceable blades, fixed blades, so pretty cool. We're a sponsor of HuntLeague. We appreciate the ability to be here with you all and be a part of the HuntLeague community, so thank you.
Hey everybody, this is Austin with Grakksaw. I make ultralight game bags, backcountry boot dryers, skull hangers, and this year we came out with our electric skull boiler. That'll be shipping pretty soon, early September, late August. I'm excited to be back. I've been on these panels before, and I'm excited to be back for this one.
Hey guys, Josh Skre with Arken Optics. I think this might be my 5th year doing this with HuntLeague. Still doing the Arken Optics and the Outlier barrel stuff. Doing hunting trips, and glad to be a part of the judges panel this year. Good luck to the both of you.
Hey guys, this is Steve with Skre here, show and expo director. This is our first year being here live, and we're happy to be here, and we're excited to hear all the stories.
All right, guys, you just met our judges, but I had to bring Lucas back on. So Lucas, you're doing something that I feel like is a little bit unfair to the rest of us because your hunting season has actually started. Here we are talking about Western hunts, doing the finals for this. You live in California where they kick off some archery stuff a little bit earlier than everybody else. And we were just talking on the phone, and it looks like you're already off to a really good start in the 2025 season. So tell me about where you're at in your season right now.
Yeah, so most of you probably don't know California, the amount of options we have for hunting here, but our blacktail season kicked off the second weekend of July. So actually 2 Saturdays ago, and the 4th day of the season, I was fortunate to take a nice deer, a nice 3x4 blacktail with my bow, and my elk season started. I'm a guide and outfitter as well. So elk season started July 2nd, have an archery hunter starting this Saturday, and our elk are already rutting in the peak of the rut right now. So yeah, a little different timing. We're about a month and a half ahead of most everyone. When everyone's saying, I can't wait for September, for us, it's July, early August. So yeah, pretty fortunate we get to extend our season quite a bit, hunting the West as well, which takes you later into the year. So yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Now, both of our finalists this year, they're both big time elk guys. They're kind of switching places though. Brandon has always been our rifle guy. Wolfgang has always been our archery guy. This year, Wolfgang's picking up the rifle, going after elk, and Brandon's switching and going to the bow. But they're going to be listening to some of those bugles. So are you already hearing what all of us Western hunters dream of with just hearing bugles in the distance? Are Thule are they pretty active, vocal right now?
Oh yeah, very much. Very aggressive. They're fighting. They break antlers like crazy. So yeah, most of our bulls have been actually in the rut for about 2 weeks already. So I started hearing bugles about the first week of July. So yeah, it is different than what most people don't realize. But yeah, like I said, it really extends out the hunting season. And yeah, we're anywhere from a month to a month and a half ahead of most anybody else. So
that is what I love about the HuntLeague community and seeing people and stories like all the time. You get turkey season going and like people are shooting them in like January or February down in Florida and these other places. I'm like, wait, I still have to wait like 2 more months. But all right, judges panel, thank you guys for joining us tonight. This is the biggest judges panel we've ever had. Super excited to have all of you guys, big time industry professionals, super experienced. But let me introduce you guys to our finalists. This isn't their first rodeo in a HuntLeague finals. These guys have been here before, but in every one where they have faced the judges panel, they have fallen just a little bit short. There's been a little bit of disappointment in the past. And it's never been because they haven't had a deserving season. It's always been just a question that comes down to the judges saying, all right, which story did you like better? Because it's not about who kills the biggest or who kills the most. So without further ado, I want to introduce you to Wolfgang and Brandon Anderson. So this is what I'm calling Clash of the Titans, fella. Wolfgang, starting all the way back in 2020, in the very first league finals we ever had. You were one of 3 finalists for the 2020 Outdoorsman of the Year. And really, since that time, you have been always either on the edge of being a finalist or you have made it to the finals, but you have never found yourself on top of the podium. So for anybody listening, I mean, tell me a little bit about the ups and downs of your story and maybe some of the disappointments that you faced throughout the years as you've been in some of these league championships.
That first one, like we talked about, I just randomly found the app and then ended up in the finals for the first ever Outdoorsman of the Year. That was a very cool experience. Obviously a little upset I didn't win, but Peter definitely deserved it. Since then, it's just been fun. I've made friends in the HuntLeague community. Like you mentioned, I've been a finalist a few different times now, and it's always been fun. I just never quite made it.
The last time you were finalist for the Western Hunter, remind me then what your season looked like.
That was 2 years ago. So that was Spring Bear. That was my 5-point bull. That was, and my big 3-point, my first buck with my bow. And it was definitely fun because of the hunts and the success. It was definitely, I felt like I deserved to be a finalist, but that judges panel definitely made me realize that I needed to open myself up to more conservation movements.
You had a few small things lacking on the resume, but you had some great stories. And anybody that hunts in Oregon, if you're getting kind of that triple crown in Oregon of, a bear, a deer, and an elk all in the same year, that's a pretty special year. Now, give me a quick highlight of this season, because you've had multiple seasons where you've had a bear, deer, and elk in the same year. And I think you expressed, I'm actually surprised to be here this year because, in years past, maybe I've killed a really big bull or I've killed something maybe that's been bigger. And you're like, well, I struck out on my bear this year. You still managed to get your elk. You still managed to get your deer. But tell me what was kind of unique about this season for you.
So the uniqueness about this season for me, I just started my excavation business up in April. And thinking, I'm the owner, I'm the boss, I'll have all kinds of time to hunt. And we were getting close to September, and there was going to be no time to hunt. Opening weekend, I think it was Labor Day weekend, I told my wife and kids, I said, I'm just going to take the first mature legal elk that presents an opportunity. Because the unit I hunt most of the time over the counter, it's an any elk unit. So, technically you could kill a yearling or whatever you want. But I just said the first mature animal, whether it be a cow or bull, it doesn't matter to me. And that opening weekend, I had a bull on camera Sunday night. Monday being Labor Day, I had to go to work. And then that job got canceled. And I said, you know what, I'm going hunting. Took off in the woods and actually killed my first cow elk because she was the one that presented that opportunity first. And I just put it all in God's hands. And I said, whatever you present me with first is what I'm going to take. I need that time for my family and I need time for my business. So just provide and we'll take it.
Can I ask you, are you a little bit surprised being in the finals this year, comparing this year to some of your previous years?
I am. I definitely am. I know there's a lot of great guys in the HuntLeague community and they all had great seasons last year. And when I got the message that said I was in the finals this year, it kind of blew me away. I definitely didn't expect this.
Well, I love that. And it's kind of a demonstration too, once again, that it's not about who shoots the biggest, because you getting your first cow this year, typically when you think of a hunting contest, you're thinking of somebody killing a really giant bull and that's what's going to put them on the podium. But here you are in probably with arguably one of your best shots at taking home a title, having taken a cow. Let's switch to you, Brandon. Brandon, you've been on this stage at least once or twice. Maybe 3 or 4 times. I don't know. You've been a pretty constant competitor. What would you say was the hardest finals that you ended up not taking the prize on? What would that have been for you?
Probably this year, Outdoorsman of the Year, this last year.
There's a little sting there. Rich Mays took that, and it wasn't because you didn't have a deserving year. So give us a little bit of a highlight recap of this past year and some of the things that you've done, because this has really, truly been an exceptional year for you.
So walk us through some of the things that have happened for you over the last year.
Killed a spring bear last year. My wife killed her biggest blacktail to date. I killed my very first pronghorn antelope. My dad killed his biggest bull to date. And my cousin killed her first big game animal ever, helping a lot of other people kill their first animals, and just a ton of work all year long, and then to end up like that. So,
well, one of the things in this competition, kind of specifically, was you're known as a pretty good bear hunter. You've hunted bears, for years now. And this competition, though, starts June 1st. So it eliminated that spring bear season that you had in 2024. And in the 2025 season between, June 1st rolling to May 31st, you didn't harvest a bear. But how many days do you think you spent in the woods chasing and looking for bears this year?
This year, definitely not as many as like the past 10 years. My son was playing baseball and I was the coach, so I was 95% focused on that and 5% focused on bear hunting. So probably in the 20s this year, I would say, rather than the almost every day like years past.
Now, collectively, though, even though you didn't harvest a bear, you had opportunities to harvest a bear. Like, it wasn't that you didn't have an opportunity. I mean, you can send a bullet a long way. Everybody inside our community knows, like, man, if something's within 1,000 yards, it's in a pretty dangerous spot standing anywhere near Brandon Anderson. So if you had to just guess, how many bears collectively between the fall season and your spring season do you think you laid eyes on over the past year?
Probably that I could kill in like the 40 to 45, somewhere in there.
And you held off because you were waiting on the right opportunity, the right mature animal. Is that correct?
Yeah, more or less. I always tell myself I'm just going to start shooting more, so that way I'm getting rid of but I always get like a big one in the back of my mind and I just stick with it. There was a big chocolate that I seen last year and I was determined to kill that one this year, was a lot of it. So, but never panned out. So,
well, I get it. You guys have incredible stories. Again, both deserving to be here. This is always one of the hardest parts of any of these things is, hey, there's only one of you that gets to walk away with the Western Hunter title. You've both been here before, but for one of you, you're going to break over that hump of not winning a league championship, because tonight one of you is going to take home this prize, and it is an absolute incredible prize. From Vortex Optics, from Bergara, from Skre, from Argali. I mean, that list goes on. So I don't want to keep saying what it is because it just rubs salt in the wound for somebody, and somebody else is going to be really elated, and we'll get to see that stuff throughout your season this upcoming year. Now, without further ado, I want to introduce some of our finalists last year that won these leagues. Cody Paratore, which many of you guys know. He was the Western Hunt champion last year. He was the On Point Experience winner last year, or in 2023. We also have Joshua Katanik, who was our Apex Predator winner last year, and the previous year was the Sweet September winner. So there's some legends inside the HuntLeague community. Both of you guys have taken home 2 titles. You know what this is about. Cody, let's start with you. What was it like for you winning your first league title? I guess your first league title was really the On Point Experience.
Yeah, the Western though felt like something I truly earned. Like the other one, Garrett just picked somebody that he thought was worthy, and the Western big game was like I finally made it. Like I did it all on my own, and that was just a little different, a little bit different.
Okay, but the On Point Experience, maybe that you feel like, all right, I didn't do the judges panel, I didn't earn it. You were selected there. How has that On Point Experience impacted your hunting since you were selected in 2023? How has it changed your life?
It's changed my life. A little bit of everything. I made some lifelong friends first and foremost, but after that, though, it's kind of changed the direction of my hunting 180 degrees. Like I was an archery hunter through and through. I'm not even picking up a bow this year. Like I'm full-fledged rifle shooting matches now. I did NRL Hunter this year. I'm going to be doing some PRS next year, like reloading. It's just a whole world now. And I couldn't imagine picking up a bow. So it changed. It changed everything. Taught me how to hunt bears, and now I have people that I talk to all the time that I would have never known before.
Yeah, that's what happens when you get to spend a day with Nick from Vortex, former Navy SEAL sniper. He came in and put on a little clinic for everybody, got everybody prepped up for that season. Then once you kind of sit down with somebody like that, with that level of expertise, I mean, it's inspiring. And I think what happened on that hunt lit a fire and a passion in you. And now, you know, I mean, everybody's been talking about how good of a shot Brandon is, but here you are putting down pretty good numbers, finishing second in a recent NRL Hunter match. So I think this next year, when we do this Oregon RYDR CUP in 2026, I'm pretty excited to see some of you guys go toe-to-toe in some of this competition. You shooting your BB gun, Brandon shooting his cannonballs. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm excited. That'll be a lot of fun.
All right, Katanik, tell me about this league championships. I mean, how you got involved, what it's meant to you over the last couple of years.
Yeah, man, the ongoing support from the HuntLeague community is just incredible. Not only have I made friends, lifelong friends, and hunting buddies through HuntLeague, but I've also won some amazing prizes that have helped make hunting quite a bit easier. From my Hogue knife that I've now skinned a couple bears with, a moose with, a couple deer with, hopefully some elk this season, to actually being able to use that Arken Zulu scope for coyote hunts this year for some predator hunting. You know, it's winning the Apex Predator League was really cool for me personally, because you don't see too many you don't see too much support necessarily for predator man being like the ultimate goal for ungulate conservation. I find that to be a really important part of my drive, and feeling that support from not only the hunting community but also the sponsors allows me to share that with other friends and get them involved with that little added incentive. So it's pretty big for me.
I love it. You know, you're not alone in skinning out multiple animals with that Hogue knife. That's what went in my pack last year. I think we did 2 elk, a pronghorn. You know, it's just like it went one animal to the next. It didn't have to touch a resharpening stone until I want to say late November when we were doing my sons. And at that point, I pulled out a little thing and just went zip, zip, like on a stone just to kind of get any burrs or dulling. And I was like, oh my gosh, it is still cutting like butter, like 3, 4, 5 animals. And we're not talking like thin skinned rabbits. I'm talking like full on big old elk, you know, and that's an unbelievable knife. I can't wait for one of these guys to walk away with one of these fantastic knives here later tonight. Now, anybody that's watching that's been a part of this, we're going to run things a little bit different tonight. This is the first time that we're kind of mixing some things up with this league. Traditionally, we come into this night where we're doing an interview. We got the judges panel. We've got all of these things going on, a lot of moving pieces. This year, through the use of the app and looking at analytics, looking at numbers, looking at how often people are logging stuff, the number of hunts they've logged, the number of days they've done training at the gym, the number of days they've shot, whether it be a bow or rifle, invested in themselves, others, investing in our community, communicating in the app, messaging, all the things that have come in to create this full season. These two guys have risen to the top. We have an incredible judges panel, the largest judges panel we've ever had. They're kind of looking this thing over. And at the end of this, we're going to mix things up. And I'm excited about how we're going to mix things up. But I'm going to turn this over to you, Cody, because you're the most recent Western Hunt champion. And I want you to give some of your input, some of your thoughts into how you perceive kind of the season and looking at both these finalists. And I'm going to turn this over to you. It's your time to shine. Let's take this to the next level.
Well, as you guys have seen, these both had some incredible seasons. I know both of these guys. They are not too far from me. I mean, Wolfgang is just a little bit south. He's living where I used to turkey hunt. It's my honey hole down in his area. And then I spent quite a bit of time down by Brandon and talking reloading with him. So I know both these guys. I've followed them both on Instagram. I always see Wolfgang buying a new bow every time he goes to the bow shop. And then you got Brandon, just keep sending long bombs and putting animals down. So I can see why the judges had such a hard time deciding who was going to be crowned. Like, the coolest thing to me about Brandon's season was his antelope. And I got a lot of respect for the Oregon boys with antelope because they wait a long time. I mean, I'm sitting on 11 points and I'm in no man's land. Brandon, he splurged and spent 19 points on his tag, and he killed a really, really cool buck with his wife. And so, like, to me, that really stood out as something that I thought was cool, and I know the judges thought that was cool. And then Wolfgang, I really liked the story of the cow elk. It's hitting home this year because I got a lot going on this fall, and I'm in the same boat. Like, it's going to be just choosing meat this year. I'm probably going to be picking up a cow tag as well. And so I understand where that came from. I appreciate his dedication because I tell myself when I was doing archery, it was any legal bull. I always told myself I'd shoot the first one, and I'd always let that spike walk by. So I appreciate his dedication to his promise that he made. So yeah, they both had some incredible years. I like watching their stories, listening to them. And then I don't know, Jared, you tell me, are we spilling the beans? Are we going to be giving away some cool stuff? I mean, I'm excited to see who gets a new Bergara rifle. I mean, that's been my favorite thing so far.
We didn't come into tonight without a game plan and without a winner in mind. I think this year, both of you guys put up an incredible season. I think it's time to pass the torch, and we've already made our decision going into the night. So you're no longer fighting. You're no longer trying to give a better interview to one up the next man. Cody, with you wearing the current crown right now from the 23-24 season, will you fill us in on who is taking home the crown on the 24-25 Western Hunter?
Well, I can tell you it's an Oregon boy again. What is that, 5 in a row?
That's 4 in a row. Don't get cocky,
Okay,
Oregon.
well, we'll make it 5 next year. No, I'm glad to see it staying in Oregon. And congratulations, Wolfgang, on being crowned. Well, what do you got to say for yourself? Are you live?
I'm pretty well speechless right now, Cody. I don't know what to say.
Well, yeah, I know that feeling. It's a good one.
Oh, yeah. Definitely didn't expect it.
Yeah, you've got some killer gear coming your way. I can't wait for these sponsors to reach out and hook you up. I mean, Vortex, Bergara, I mean, it's what I've been using for the last year, and it puts some animals down and it shoots phenomenal. So you're a lucky man.
That's awesome, man. Because like Jared mentioned in the intro, I'm picking up a rifle to elk hunt this year, and that's awesome. I really don't know what to say.
Oh, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
Oh yeah.
Wolfgang, how does it feel to officially win your first major title in the HuntLeague community?
It feels great, Jared. I mean, this has been a long time coming for me, and I'm over the moon right now. I'm speechless.
Man, I couldn't be more proud of you. I feel like it has been a long time coming. We've been talking about this since the 2020 Outdoorsman of the Year. You've been in the hunt year over year over year. You've been Mr. Consistent inside the app, always encouraging. Even in the midst of discouraging moments where you haven't walked away with the title, you've stayed consistent. You haven't thrown in the towel and said, man, these guys just get my hopes up only to crush me once again. And without diving too much farther into it, we do have some people that want to say a quick congratulations to you. So, Mr. Wolfgang Troxel, congratulations from me and the HuntLeague community on taking home your first ever major title as the 24-25 Western Hunt champion. Here's what some of our judges have to say.
Congratulations, man. I read a bit about your season. I read about sort of the struggles that you had to go through as a family man, as a business owner. I can certainly relate to the situation you were in because I've been there myself many times. And I just want to say congratulations, man. It sounds like you had a hell of a season. Sounds like you had a great time. And it's certainly something that any father, any business owner, anyone who is trying to balance all the things in life can relate to. At some point, you just have to figure out like what's best for my family, not necessarily what's best for me. I respect that, and I just want to say congratulations. You're going to win a set of our MOB large game MOB game bags, which you can use for your next elk hunt, and one of our Serac knives, which is my favorite knife for skinning and quartering. and deboning elk. So again, congratulations, heck of a season, and thank you so much for participating in Hunt League.
I just wanted to say a personal congratulations to Wolfgang for winning. You definitely deserved it this year, especially for the way that you handled the situation with that bull elk coming in and the cow, and you took the cow, because it's really just good sportsmanship right there and just providing meat for your family. So I'm really impressed with the way you handled that and just all the other hunts and everything you did this year. You tried real hard, so you definitely deserved what got coming to you this year. So we're going to give you a pack. We've got 3 models, the 5400, we got the 3200, and then we got our smaller 2100. My recommendation is the 3200, based on kind of what you've been doing in your hunting style. So, but you can choose what you want. Get with Jared. He's got my contact information. He'll just send it to you after the live here, and then we'll just go from there and keep in touch.
Wolfgang, Matt Disney, WURU Wool Company. Super pumped to hear your success this year. Congratulations on winning the 2024-2025 Western Hunter. Brandon, another great year. But Wolfgang, hearing your story and the way you stuck with your commitment that you made to yourself, made to your family, how awesome is that? And hope this caps off a successful season for you. We're going to be sending you some of our blister wool, along with some of our merino wool apparel, cut and sewn right here in Salt Lake City. Hope you enjoy.
All right. I hate coming to this screen because we just celebrated Wolfgang. Wolfgang is still sitting in the waiting room. We are going to bring you guys together. Brandon, we did this at the Outdoorsman of the Year. I look at it and I'm like, what else could the man have done? Waited 19 years to get a pronghorn tag. What else do you need to do in order to land on top? So I don't want this to be raw emotion, but how you feeling?
It's all good at this point. I'm pretty used to it now.
That's the worst.
Thankful for the app, really, and the friendships I've gained from it, and just winning the prizes and stuff like that is just a cherry on the top, but just makes you grind harder next year or figure out some other method of take or kill something different. So,
well, I appreciate your attitude right now because I know we're live and you could be cursing me out and everybody else inside the hunting community, all the judges saying, what on earth are you guys doing or even talking about? I don't know how you could personally top the season you have. I don't know how anybody could top the level of dedication that you put into this sport from all your work with the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, going and volunteering at 5 or 10 different banquets around the state, running those things for the state of Oregon. All over the place. The experiences that you had this year are just absolute. It's hard to even compare what you've done in the field, waiting 19 years to get a pronghorn tag and finally getting it and going. It's like, that's not going to happen for another 20 years. So are you out of this equation for another 20 years? How does this work? So Katanik, you jumped in like right at the beginning or right when we were doing September, logged and told the story of your September archery hunt where you had shot a bull. You were frustrated, like wasn't a great shot. 4 days later, you happened to see the same bull and were able to put it down. When you told our judges that story, they loved the tenacity. They loved everything about the experience that you shared. And right out of the gates, you were like not even a month into Hunt League, you ended up winning your first title, your first ever time standing before the judges. You won a title. What was that like for you?
Well, it was an eye-opener as to there even being a community like this. I had no idea. I've been kind of following it on social media here and there, wondering what it was all about. But having that elk season and kind of diving into elk or the Hunt League community and learning all about that and being able to apply for that and get that spotlight was just an absolute honor. It's so incredible to have a community like this to share our all of our passion and our hard work. Our time is very valuable. Brandon, I know your time is very valuable. You've got kids. I've got kids now. I hope you continue to have kids so I can keep up with you. But it's this is what it's all about, being able to share those stories with these sponsors, with these supporters, with this community. And people like you've got awesome stories to share.
Yeah, it does. Now, you went through the ups right away of hitting a peak. I mean, you came right out of the gates and won a title like a month into your experience into HuntLeague. But this year, you also got to experience being on a judges panel, maybe for the first time, where you didn't walk away with the title, because you came out of the gates hot, taking home, the September, and then you also were able to take home the Apex Predator. But you've also experienced the feeling of defeat. So how has that sat with you on some of those ones? You know what Brandon's feeling right now.
Absolutely. Just exactly like Brandon says, winning these leagues is just icing on the cake. Being able to share these stories, share our dedication, be inspiring to others is what it's all about for me. I've got lots of buddies who see what all of us are doing and just get that bug and are just constantly wanting to go out and get into this with us. So it's pretty awesome, and just being a part of it is just incredible.
Well, I'm going to give you a moment just to encourage Brandon, just the two of you, because you know how this feels. So I know you got some stuff that you want to share. You were telling me, man, I know one of these guys is going to end up not walking away with the title, so I want to be there to kind of. I got something that you want to share, so I think it's going to help everybody inside the community see what you've got here for Brandon.
Well, Brandon, man, I was thinking back to your cougar hunt where you stalked in on that cougar and made the shot and watch it head down the hill and missed it. And it obviously reminds me a lot of that archery elk hunt where I thought for sure I lost it as well. So not only do you experience the emotion of loss during the hunt, but also the league itself. But looking back at your predator season this year, it's been absolutely incredible. It's a dream predator season, and predator hunting is pretty important to me. Sounds like you had one heck of a time with spring bear, but I want to hear a little bit more about this helicopter hunt, if you don't mind sharing some words of wisdom on that one. How does one get involved in that?
It was just a lucky deal. Some ranchers that Kurt that I build guns with knows, they do it once a year to help the cattle out and the deer in the valley and stuff like that, mainly the cattle. But it was just a lucky deal. I don't think you can really pay to do it anywhere, really, but just a once in a lifetime experience, most likely. Just super fun. Like, didn't know what it was going to be like. Never rode in a helicopter before. Like, trying to shoot stuff out of a helicopter that's moving. Like, I had no idea what it was going to be like, but it was awesome. Nothing can compare to that. Like, hanging out of a helicopter with a shotgun and literally chasing coyotes down and just cranking the helicopter right in front of them, and you start shooting. So it was definitely a once in a
man. How many
lifetime
cows were you able to harvest?
We flew for 45 minutes and killed 11. So they flew, so different people, get to go, and so 45 minutes to an hour is kind of the time slot. So I think they killed 84 or 85 that day in 8 hours of flying, 9 hours of flying, something like that. So.
Well, I hope you don't go join in any of my coyote derbies anytime soon, because I don't know if I'd be able to keep up with that.
No, it was a great time. So,
fellas, I feel like there's supposed to be a surprise here, and it's on the screen, and I'm like, dadgummit, I think I ruined Josh's big announcement. And I don't know, I've seen Brandon grinning a little bit down there. So, Josh, let's go ahead and spill the beans on what's going down here.
With that said, I'd like to congratulate you, Brandon, on the 2024-2025 Apex Predator Champion. It's an honor to be amongst you, the champions, man. You're putting in the work. I love to see it. We all love to see it. Keep sharing all of that with us because it's so inspiring.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Couldn't be more proud of you. Brandon, I know it's a long time coming, but you finally have your first major title inside the HuntLeague community. And I'm not the only person that wants to congratulate you. So let me introduce you to a couple other folks here.
Hey, Brandon, congratulations. What an incredible feat to get the 2024-2025 Apex Predator League Championship. You know, your season alone was incredible. I have to admit, I'm jealous. A helicopter hunt has been on my bucket list for years now, and I haven't managed to check it off. So, you know, being able to go on that hunt and how successful it was is phenomenal. And, you know, not to mention your passion for hunting clearly shows with how much time you spend in the field and in the woods and passing up on as many bears as you did because you're waiting for the perfect one and the right one to harvest. And I mean, your mountain lion story alone, that's just incredible. What an incredible year. So I'm super excited to get you set up with some great gear this year. We've got a few options for you on the firearm side, whether you're looking for a gas gun for your next helicopter hunt. We've got some great options in the Stag Pursuit AR line. Or if you're thinking, you know, I need a new bolt gun for the next year, we've got some options there in our Aero Solus lightweight hunter that we're coming out with here shortly. But whatever you pick, we're going to top it off with one of our Lahar 30 suppressors. So those are great bang for your buck, pun intended, good medium weight, lightweight, great sound suppression, full auto rated, all the things you could want in a suppressor. So I look forward to connecting with you and getting you taken care of for the year.
Congratulations, Brandon, on winning the Apex Predator League. One thing that stood out to me was your coyote hunt from a helicopter. Anybody that is a hunter or a predator hunter needs to do that and wants to do that in their life, I would imagine. Another thing that stood out is looking at how many days you spend in the field hunting bears. To hunt bears for that many days and not just to shoot a bear is very tough. That takes a certain type of hunter to know exactly what they're looking for and not to just tag out. Like, the hunt, the experience is the best part unless it's exactly what you want. So on behalf of Ryder Industries for winning the Apex Predator League, we have our brand new Ryder 9 match bipod here. This is the newest version we have, has the quick release. So on this quick release, you can pull out these two screws and you can switch from Arken to pick, both quick release. And then the legs deploy without any buttons. They go into a little wider position. And then the legs are quarter turn. And you can lock the legs in anywhere you want. And congratulations, Brandon, on winning the Apex Predator League.
Well, fellas, we have two new league champions. I've got a handful of judges. I've got Lucas here from Hogue, Austin here from Grakksaw, Josh from Arken, Steve here from Skre, ready to congratulate you guys. So let's kick this thing off. Austin, I think it's to you, my man.
Hey, Wolfgang, congrats, man. That is pretty sweet. The catalog story is awesome. You know, if you recall, I was back on one of the earlier panels and I got to hear it then, and that was a tough decision then, making you lose that one. But I'm glad to see you in the victory chair this time. So I don't know what all prizes you want. I've sent you some stuff in the past, but I was planning on getting you a new set of the boot dryers that have just come out or they're about to release. I'll get you a set of those. And then if you need any more hangers or anything, just let me know.
Heck yeah. Wolfgang, you live up there in Oregon. Does it ever get wet up there where you hunt?
Yeah, we definitely get a little bit of moisture around here.
Yeah, come on, man. Those boot dryers are going to come in handy.
Absolutely. I'm stoked right
now. Steve, man, how about you?
Wolfgang, congratulations. Amazing hunting year for both of you. And congratulations on winning Hunter of the Year. As part of Skre, we're proud to present you with our Elite Starter Bundle. So we're going to throw in a Hardscrabble jacket, which is a water-resistant, lightweight, fleece-lined jacket with pit zips, the whole nine. Along with that, we're going to throw in our 150 merino wool quarter zip shirt, keep you comfortable underneath that jacket. And then we got a set of hard scrabble pants that are going to complete that outfit and keep you warm, dry, and keep you on the pursuit. So congratulations again from all of us here at Skre. Amazing year. And Brandon, we heard about your Apex Predator champion. So we're not letting you go away empty-handed. So we're gonna send you one of our Ptarmigan 850 down jackets to keep you warm on all those predator pursuits, and hopefully that we'll see some more amazing stories next year from you, and see you here again.
Well, Josh, I mean, you got to hear some of their stories. Talk to them. You've been a predator hunter. You've gone all these crazy stories. So what kind of questions you got for these champions, man?
I mean, I like the fact that they both seem low key and laid back for first starters. Brandon, awesome job putting in a lot of help with a lot of people's first or biggest animals they harvested this year. Wolfgang, sounds like you've been in the mix a few times, so congratulations on the big win. Brandon, with the Apex League, we've been doing it. So basically, you can get your choice of like an EP5, fully set up, greens, throw lever, bubble level, whatever you want, and we can work through that. Pick what you want, whether it be MOA or mill. And I also got to hunt out of a helicopter this year in New Zealand for hogs, and that's quite a trip, man, especially in the mountains.
That's not fair, Josh. Now you're starting to sound like Lucas. You guys doing these crazy exotic hunts. I mean, Lucas was just telling Lucas, what's on your agenda between now and December? We already know you started your season killing a deer, but I mean, what do you got coming up these next couple months? Just inspire us a little bit with your calendar.
Yeah, so I've got a pretty busy next few weeks with some local hunts here. Just I leave to Mongolia in the 24th of August, so I'll be there for a month hunting Argali and getting to see some pretty cool stuff there. October I'll be in Montana for deer and elk, and then I'll be in Asia 3 times. I'll be Marco Polo hunt in Tajikistan in November, and then I go to Pakistan in December for most of the month. So yeah, pretty rough year, but that's pretty actually typical for me. So I'm in the field 200 to 250 days a year on average. So
good night. Now how's everybody feeling, huh? Steve, you feeling good after hearing what Lucas has going on? Me and you sitting on no tags going into this fall.
Man, no tags, and where do you guys find the time, man? I'm busy all hunting season, so.
Hogue, we didn't, Lucas, I didn't even ask you, you're a part of the Apex Predator. So why don't you present what's going down from Hogue to old Brandon? Cause he's in the market for a good knife.
Yeah. So, kind of what we've done the last few rounds is, we provided, whether you're a fixed blade guy or replaceable blade, 2020, I kind of basically brought a concept to Hogue, and 5 years later, we built a whole line of hunting knives, which, as you heard earlier, some of the experiences, some of the guys Joshua's had, and, Jared talked about his as well. Edge retention is pretty incredible with the steel we use. But yeah, depending on what you're looking for, if you're a fixed blade guy, we've got a couple options there. If you like replaceable blade, we've got 2 options of replaceable blade, Havalon style blade knives that we can do some custom work for you on. So yeah, we're definitely going to make sure you get set up with that. So
I'm definitely a replaceable blade kind of guy.
Okay.
Now, why is that, Brandon?
Because I'm terrible at sharpening knives, and I just like to unclip the blade and put a brand new one on and go back to work, rather than stand there for 20 minutes and sharpen a knife I don't even know how.
Well, Lucas, tell him what you guys have going on with your replaceable blade, because there's a lot of replaceable blades out there, but what you guys have is actually significantly different than anything else you're going to see. And I think it's a lot safer, especially if you got cold hands or bloody hands, all that stuff. So give us a little preview of the old X-Track or X-Bell, sorry.
Yeah, so I wish I should have grabbed an example, but basically what we have is we have a fixed and a folding style replaceable blade scalpels. They'll take 60s or 70s, depending on what style of blade you use. They'll take any Havel blade, 20s, 21s, 22s, 24s. So any basically scalpel type blade will fit on the platform. There's a locking mechanism on it, and there's an ejecting mechanism on it, which is pretty neat. So the locking mechanism keeps the blade in place, which is important. If you've ever used some replaceable blades where you're in the cavity of an animal and the blade pops off inside a bloody cavity, you're trying to search around for the blade. So that doesn't happen, but if the blade does break, if you have to exchange the blade, we've got a patented system that basically with removing the switch lock and putting the blade on the pedestal will free the blade and then allow you to eject the blade without actually having to touch the blade. So the intent was to make something safer, more efficient, especially when you're in the field and hands are nasty and dirty. And I'm sure all of us can attest to cuts on our hands from replacing blades in the past, or having a pair of pliers to pull blades off. So anyway, it's a pretty neat system, definitely innovative, definitely cutting edge in the market, and yeah, made in America, and proud to say that we source all our materials and make them in America. So
I love it. Well, guys, let's do one more congratulations. I'll let you guys do that, and then we'll finish out the night with a couple big announcements, because we got some pretty cool stuff coming this year. And I want to introduce the HuntLeague community to a couple of our new partners.
Okay, congrats, guys. Congrats, Wolfgang. Congrats, Brandon.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, congratulations, guys, and I'll be out there in the end of October chasing your guys' blacktail. So.
Oh, dang. Well, you got some pros right there ready to take you. All right, judges, finalists, you guys, not finalists, I should say champions, you guys, well done. We're going to be in touch over the next couple of days, getting you in touch with all these incredible companies that have partnered with HuntLeague and are supporting and sponsoring you. Excellent seasons, inspiring to everybody inside the community. Thanks for being the men that you are, and excited to see what this year holds for both of you. So without further ado, let me hit you with a couple announcements before we close this thing up, because we got some big things to announce. Thank you guys for sticking with us this long. I know we just crossed the hour mark, but we've got some really cool events. If you missed the very beginning, we got the RYDR CUP coming up in 2026. That's May. If you want a chance to kind of prioritize your spot in the RYDR CUP, make sure you comment. Make sure you send me an email, support@huntleague.com, and just say, hey, I want to be in on that RYDR CUP. We're going to Oregon. Again, we're going to have one weekend, May 15th to 17th. We're going to do wild food dinner. We do some long range shooting. We've got a golf match in there. We're going to do some archery. Several of our league partners are going to be out there doing this with you. And then in addition, it gives you the opportunity to maybe plan a spring turkey or spring bear hunt on the front end or back end of this incredible weekend. Some of our partners are going to be going and joining us on those hunts. So it's going to be a super fun time in Oregon, May of 2026. So be sure to let us know that you want to be prioritized on that list. Now, some special announcements. I want to introduce you guys. Some of you guys already know Joel Raether from Hunt, Hike, Harvest. We've had him on our podcast. We've had him on our judges panels, but he is here with a new product that I saw at the Mile High Hunt and Fish Expo this year in Denver. So I want to bring in Joel and introduce you guys to a new product that they have coming out that I think is super cool, especially for all of you archery elk hunters. Maybe yours turkey hunters too. So Joel, looking a little bit dark, neon. You're in some kind of nightclub here, but go ahead and tell us what you guys have coming out, because you guys have kind of created a new company. People know you from Hunt, Hike, Harvest, but what's new?
So probably 2 years ago, my partner Jason Hirsch and I, we kind of went years and years where we're ultimately finding ways to carry our diaphragm balls. And what would happen was, you're putting them in the side of your chest harness, you're putting them in your pocket, you're throwing them into like, an empty, maybe a skull can or who knows what, right? Like something that you could just drop in where it wasn't protecting them. It wasn't, keeping them from being disturbed as far as like the latex and all that stuff goes. Wasn't keeping them clean. And so we kind of came up with this idea and decided that we wanted to create a diaphragm holder that would be better than anything that we've seen on the market today. And so what we came up with was this guy. They were calling, move this the right direction here, the puck. Essentially what it is, it's called the puck because it looks like a hockey puck, number one. But if we look inside of this, you'll see that I have 3 of my diaphragm calls in there. They are slotted inside of that. So each one of these calls is separate from each other. They're not touching in any way, shape, or form, which is going to help protect the latex. Being inside of this is going to help keep the puck itself dry. We've made the outside of this with a kind of a hatched finish on it. You can actually strap a match to that. So what it'll do is it's going to allow you to keep your reeds dry. It's going to allow you to keep them separate. It's going to prolong the life of your diaphragm, and they're always going to be at arm's reach, which is super cool. So this is a prototype. This is just an H3O Hunt Hike Harvest one. You can see we've got our logo on there. We started making them in a lot of different ways and shapes and forms. We have some standard ones that come with just our standard puck logo on there. And we also do some customization. So recently we just made one for our friends at Denver Fire Department. So you can see the fire department logo is on there. And we did another one for our Thin Blue Line folks, those that serve and protect, right? So we made one for them as well. We've made a couple for some of our other friends. And one of the cool things that we also did was, a lot of people have their own canisters and containers and things like that. So all of your customary, there's a lot of Zyn users and things like that. And obviously we're not promoting, nicotine and tobacco and things like that. But at the end of the day, what we did was we made this. You can see this is a standard Zyn can, so that this would house and hold the exact same way that the all-inclusive unit does. And all you have to do is drop that insert in there. And then we made these customary to pretty much every major manufacturer with a lid that fits down to the 100th of a millimeter, so that if you listen to that, you can hear it actually snaps on.
Heck yeah.
This isn't
not losing anything.
In light of the conversation tonight and my cool indoor bar lighting and whatever, because I don't have a good studio at my house, we wanted to make one for all of the folks at HuntLeague. And so this one is hot off the press, and you can see that we have a brand new.
I want to hunt with one of those.
Yes. So the cool thing is on the back, just go to puckoutdoors.com. If you check us out, look at us online. Got our logo here on the inside, matching all the HuntLeague color. Got the HuntLeague logo in there. And we are going to offer these to all HuntLeaguers up until September 1st. If you go to puckoutdoors.com and put in HuntLeague, it is going to save you $5 on every one of these pucks. And so what we want to do is offer this to you guys. We're going to get one of these to you, Jared. Obviously, you'll get the maiden HuntLeague in your hands. We didn't have one ready when you saw them the first time, so it's super cool. We actually have a provisional patent on these. So if you're watching this, you can't come steal it from us, because we have protected the design, the features, and all the functionality within, making sure that we can grow this product. And it's been something that the feedback has been awesome. So we're excited to offer it to you guys, and hope that you'll find it as useful as we do.
Well, congratulations, Joel, on making such a cool product. When I saw it for the first time, I was like, oh, dang, I got to get one of those. And then seeing a HuntLeague logo on one and being customized, I'm like, that just makes me smile ear to ear. I think it's one of the coolest things out there. I hope we get some HuntLeague folks going to the website. They can go there, get $5 off, and get a custom HuntLeague diaphragm call holder. It's going to keep your calls separate, nice, and ready for the field. Looks amazing, too. Thank you, Joel.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. and they're very resistant to heat and things like that. I actually put this one without diaphragm calls in there, left it in the dash of my truck for like 8 hours in 90-degree weather, and it's still. So in terms of durability, in terms of them being something that you can count on, we make them here directly in Denver, Colorado. We're making them ourselves. So we're not shipping these off to have someone else do it. We're doing it as a labor of love, and we print them off. We just got done getting a bunch ready. We have Western Hunt Fest this weekend, so we made a bunch for that event, and it's been kind of fun, and we're excited to try and get in front of more people. So thank you for having us on for one, and we hope that maybe some of your Hunt League folks will be fired up as we are about it.
I love it. Now, is it the Puck Outdoors? Is it Puck Outdoors? What is it to go? PuckOutdoors.com?
PuckOutdoors.com is right on the back there.
Okay, PuckOutdoors.com. We'll make sure we send out an email, let people know. Send me a picture of that so we can communicate it too and show people some of the custom stuff. All right, next up, this is a big announcement. This is coming into our Western Hunt League for the 25-26 season. I want to introduce you to my friend, JK, who I got the opportunity to shoot my first rifle match. He was one of the judges at the beginning of this that you got introduced to, and he said, hey, if you stick around, you're going to hear something fun at the end. So that means we are coming to the end. So let me introduce you to my friend, John Kyle from Foundation Stocks. Tell us a little bit about Foundation Stocks and, what you guys are building down there in Oklahoma.
Yeah, sure. So for the last 10 years, we've been building rifle stocks for the precision shooting community. So that looks like historically for us, quite a bit of focus on the competition, long range game, the NRL, the PRS, sport, if you will. Some of the others that kind of branch off that or look like those. And that's been where we have had quite a bit of success, quite a bit of growth over the last 10 years. And it's been a neat thing and a blessing to see all that, take place. We build what we consider to be the best rifle stocks available. We take great pride in them. And then recently, which is one of the things that brought us into contact with Jared, we've entered into that long range hunting world. So historically, like Jared knows, our stocks are notoriously, they're heavy, right? And they're built for a specific application. Not saying that we don't take them into the field, but a lot of times you're not wanting to hoof around a 15 to 28 pound rifle into the field. So we have a line called the hybrid line, which we introduced a couple of years ago. And we have some full featured lightweight stocks. We take a combination of materials that we are, our main material we're known for on the competition side. We paired that with carbon fiber as well as Kevlar and a patented molding process. And we've just been able to develop a product that we're really excited about. And that's been, honestly been growing very quickly for us. So we're just excited to join you guys in the Hunt League and be part of it.
Man, I am so excited. We have quite a few really good shooters. Brandon Anderson, who was one of our league winners here just this evening, he's well known as a marksman inside our community. We've got other guys like Cody, who's just jumping into NRL hunter matches. I think he just placed second in the Spokane, in his division, in that Spokane match that we had looked at back in June 21st weekend. But got quite a few guys, and when we come out to this RYDR CUP next year in Oregon, I think we're going to put on a little bit of a clinic. I'm not saying you're going to put on a clinic. I'm saying some of these guys, we're going to be practicing long range, taking some shots at 1,000+ yards. So I think there's a growing interest in precision components and things like that. And I could not be more excited. When I first saw, like Tucker showed me a Foundation stock. When I first looked at it, I was like, this is a piece of art. I mean, they are beautiful stocks, and it's not just the beauty on the outside. I mean, the function of what you've done with the materials, you're using micarta, using some of these other things that are really dense materials that do better with absorbing recoil, all the things. So we're going to record a podcast later, but this is just the introduction. Super excited to have Foundation Stocks jump in. So why don't you tell us what you're jumping into next year, because you're going to be a part of our 25-26 season in what league?
Yeah, we're going to be in the Western Hunt League. So Jared has got us there. Looking forward to it. It's interesting because a root of at least, I guess I'll just speak to the Oklahoma bunch, but I think that I can speak to this on a broader scale. when we started shooting the PRS sport, or really goes back before that, to the like OPPS, Oklahoma Practical Precision Shooters, in those more local leagues. For quite a few people, the goal was to become a better hunter, right? A more ethical hunter. So now that's transformed over the years as far as the precision rifle series is concerned,
Yep.
into definitely more of a professional shooting sport, right? So now you have a lot. You're on your belly a lot less. You're on some, you're on a lot of props. You're on a lot of positions. So that has changed some. But at least for us, for a lot of the guys, that started a little bit earlier in the sport, it was really become better hunters. So you guys that are out there doing that, and that is what your passion, your goal is, and maybe you don't compete competitively in PRS events or NRL events. It's been something that it's worked hand in hand, because as we continue to innovate, because the competition gets stronger and stronger, and shooters get better and better, and they're more recognizing the need for quality components. Man, it feeds it all. It doesn't matter if it's competition shooting, long range hunting, the military stuff that we work on. It all while back, there's a gentleman, Tom Fuller, I've heard him say this with the Armageddon gear several times. It's that the rising tide, raises all ships. And so it's all these things working together is just good for us as a whole.
Yeah. What we've seen in the precision world and how that has impacted the hunting world, it's no doubt made a huge difference. It's made every factory rifle that's coming out better over the last few years because of what's happened in the precision shooting world. It's impacted because people they're paying more attention to triggers, they're paying more attention to the action, they're paying more attention to how everything marries together in a complete system. And what you guys are creating, it's going to continue to translate and come in. So I know, as all those tides rise, what you guys are doing as Foundation Stocks is going to help everybody out in the future, because we're going to start seeing more people try to clone and do what you do. But I'll just tell you, nobody does them better than Foundation Stocks. And I think, and you might not want to share this because I'm not trying to make you brag or boast about anything, but I mean, when you just look at some of the top shooters in the PRS and the people that are winning awards, like, what percentage of these guys that are walking the podium are using Foundation Stocks? And it's not because they're sponsored by Foundation. It's because they want to use the absolute best equipment they can use. So, I mean, if you had to brag a little bit, and I'm forcing you to a little bit, but I mean, you guys have won some awards.
Yeah, so we've been, again, very fortunate to have some of the best shooters in the world choose our product. And Jared and I have talked about this before. We're a smaller company, right? We have some competitors, that I consider friends, that are much larger, much higher production numbers, capacity than what we do. And also, like Jared alluded to, we, as far as like the sponsoring and the giving and the paying, we do none of that. And that's, now we do heavily sponsor prize tables and the organizations and things like that. But one thing that we've felt strongly about from the get-go is that, man, we want you to run our stocks because you think they're the best option for you. And so, with that being the case, when you see somebody running Foundation stock, it's because they believe that it's the best option for them, not necessarily because we are the best offer to them, if that makes sense. And not saying that anything's wrong with that, because it's just a fact of life.
That's the way the industry works.
Michael Jordan doesn't wear Nikes because he thinks necessarily they're the best shoe in the world. It's because he gets a pretty big paycheck from them, right? So there's nothing wrong with that. Not saying that at some point in the future we won't have some sponsorship stuff, but it does, I believe, create for us a very genuine grassroots following. Speaking to what you were forcing out there a little bit, we have been very fortunate to have, like, for instance, in the PRS world, the last 6 out of the 8 champions have been running our stocks. The 2 world championships that have happened in our sport have been won by a gentleman running our stock. And so that's been a huge blessing for us. And I also want to say that these guys are great shooters. They're going to shoot great with whatever they have. But they are choosing to run our product, and we're very grateful for that. And it performs really well. So it's something where I want to be careful, because there's nothing, there's nothing super special about me or us, and thankfully we serve someone who is very special, right? But we have been very fortunate to have some of the best shooters in the world choose to run our product.
Man, couldn't be more excited. People are going to definitely hear more about Foundation Stock. They'll get to know you better in the days and years ahead. But John Kyle, thanks for joining us. Thanks for jumping in and being a HuntLeague partner in the 25-26 season of the Western Hunter.
couldn't be more excited to have you be a part of our community.
All right, brother. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. I'm looking forward to getting to know you all.
All right, guys. John Kyle is a legend. Couldn't be more excited to have Foundation in. Got to meet him in an NRL Hunter match. Had an absolute blast with him and his son, Little John. And I think we're going to be seeing them more around inside the HuntLeague community. And I'm just pumped. They're really good people, great partners, and can't wait for you guys to get to know them better. Got a text message while we were showing this from Josh Greer there with Arken. He was like, man, the rifle that I had behind me was sitting on a Foundation stock. He's like, I had no idea they were coming on. So even our other partners didn't know that Foundations was coming on, didn't know about the puck. So anyway, guys, we're an hour and 20 minutes into this live stream. We have officially announced our winners. Brandon Anderson. This was the Clash of the Titans, but Brandon Anderson has taken home the 24-25 Apex Predator League, and Wolfgang Troxel with his first major title inside the HuntLeague app. Couldn't be more proud of both of you guys. Wolfgang, you took home that 24-25 Western Hunter. Excited. The new year has already started. So if you're out hunting, you're out scouting, you live in California like Lucas, and you can already be putting animals on the ground, keep after it. Make sure you're logging your daily challenges from time at the gym, time at the range. All those things add up, and our judges are looking at that. So log your stuff inside the HuntLeague app. I hope you have an incredible season. Share your stories inside the HuntLeague community. It inspires everybody else inside the app. So thank you for joining us tonight, finishing out the 2025 Summer League Championships. You guys all have a wonderful night.